This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let's get started. So, what is Selenium? So, if you look at this Selenium, this is one of the most important tool under the testing domain. So, if you work with CI/CD, and then as part of the CI/CD, automated testing is very important. And most of the time, we use many different tool in the testing, and including Selenium and JMeter. So Selenium, which we'll cover, and this is basically for the functional tests. Functional test, whether your software is functionally working or not. Using Selenium, we can write up things. So we will understand why we use Selenium, what is Selenium, different version and suites of tool, and how to set it up Selenium, and few labs, a few demo basically. Okay, so why we use Selenium? So simple. Manual testing is not a good way to test the software, and you cannot test same steps again and again. So we want to automate that manual testing task, and for that we need some tools. There are so many tools which we have in the market right now. We have Selenium, we have the QTP, FTP, and many other tools. But Selenium is very popular in this category. So it's a open source, it's a free tool. It's compatible with all the operating systems and so on. One thing we need to understand is, so one thing we need to understand is Selenium is a browser-based testing tool. That means for that, using Selenium, uh, you can only use the application which is browser-based, the application which can be accessible over the browser, and it supports multiple programming languages also. So these are some of the regions which we have, so we use Selenium. Now, if you compare Selenium with its counterparts, so if you look at this, these are some of the tools which is very popular: HPQ, QTP, IVM RFT, Test Complete, and Selenium. So if you see that Selenium is almost everywhere, is in leading position actually, except one thing, one place, and where it says coding skills. Okay, so see, license, in terms of license, is open source, cost is free, customer support, it's a community driven, which is much better actually, and coding skills, yep, to learn and to implement the testings, automated testing, automation browser based testings, you need to have a little bit of higher coding skills. Except that, everywhere that Selenium is leading the domain. Now, so yeah, it's a open source tool, can automate almost any web browser, and things like that. So I just stated Selenium can only be used to test web application. Selenium is fast and easy to use, even with large set of data, and has guaranteed accuracy. Selenium directly runs script for any web browser to automate and the web application and test it. So now let's talk about the Selenium versions and suite of tools. What you have. So if you look at the Selenium ecosystem, you have multiple tools in it. Okay. So you have a Selenium ID, and then we have a Selenium Grid, and then we have a Selenium RC, and then we have a Selenium WebDriver. All these things we'll discuss in some time. But look at this one also. So the version which got introduced in Selenium version 1, we had ID separate component, grid separate, and RC separate. But in Selenium 2, what has happened is ID is remain same, Selenium grid remains same, but what they did, they merged the Selenium RC and WebDriver into one, and we started calling WebDriver. and in Selenium version 3, by that time is the latest one, you have ID and then grid and WebDriver. Questions you may be having: what is ID, what is grid, and what is WebDriver, which will cover anyways in some time. Okay, so this is the version and suite of tools what you have. In terms of browser support, any browser which you have right now in the market is supported. And how this works, so look at this here. So here you write some testing code in multiple programming languages. The Selenium supports multiple programming language, including Java, JavaScript, Node, you know, .NET and all. So you can write a test code. How to write a test code, I'll teach you that one also. And then code you send to the tool called Selenium. And Selenium send that code to the different browser. Depends on the which browser you want to use it. You can send it to one browser also. But if you want to do the testing for the entire browsers, you can send that to the different browser driver. So here you see here you have ID driver, Edge driver, Firefox driver, Chrome driver, and all. So the code by the Selenium is sent to the different driver of browser, and those drivers will call the browser, and whatever the code you have written, that browser will open up those code, perform this all these actions, and then get you the results, whether it's success or failure, something like that. So Selenium is a some package jar file which will need to download. This driver is also application executable which you need to download, and browser anyways you know that how to install browser. So in this most important thing is that is your code, correct, right, all of you? All of you? Hello? I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how to write a code, that I'll teach you. So these are the browsers we discuss actually. These are the programming language which we have support for Selenium. So Java, C++, Ruby, Python, JavaScript, Perl, PHP, all these supports which we have for the Selenium. So the question is how to set up a Selenium. Okay, that is a thing. And what are the requirements in terms of browser, in terms of driver, all this thing, which I'll show you in some time. Okay, so first thing, remember that there is a three components we have. You have to install Selenium, that's a component number one. Then you have to install the driver, WebDriver, component number two, and then browser. Three component you need to install it. So most of the time this will be having, browser will be having your boxes. Okay, so this is what it says. This is the browser. You can install it from Google Chrome and add some Selenium directly in the C path. So let me tell you here, Selenium has been written using Java. Okay, so if any tool which has been written in Java, you need GRE2, at least GRE2 to that. So let me show you the directly the demo. So first thing is Java. So open up command line and Java version, and right now I have installed Java version 8. So in order to install Selenium, step number one you have to do install Java and set Java home. Now in this case I will suggest you not install JRE but JDK, because ultimately you're going to run the program code. I hope you remember that code, you have to run it somewhere here, this code. So this is the first thing which you have to do that. After that, step number 2 step number 2, download Selenium package. Now this Selenium package, you can also call it client package actually. Okay, so you need to download. So from where we can download, so just keep it here, download Selenium, enter. Here you can see that this is the grid. Do we need to download the grid? No, this is the software which I'll talk about it little later. What is grid? This is the driver. Do we need a driver? Yes, we need a driver now, which will do that. These are the other drivers which we have, but we need a Selenium client. Okay, so Selenium clients, we need it for that. So these are the stuff. This is the ID which we'll talk about in some time. So all the most of the downloads you have here, except few which I'll show you. So you need to download Selenium client, okay, package. Now how do you download? So here just copy it. So here you have to decide which language you want to download: C#, Ruby, Java, Python, JavaScript, or other languages. Okay, so right now I'll go for this one. Okay, so you see here, so I'm downloading. Yeah, so here this is the package, and you know every time I download at C drive, correct? So I'm going to set it up the tools at the C drive. So I'll go to C drive tools. This is my favorite, and here I have a tools, then I have Selenium here, and then clients. So what I'll do, I'll create a Selenium folder here just for this demo, Selenium, and here I will copy and extract. Done. So now this I'll delete it. Here is the package. Okay, so this is the client. So I'll just name it Selenium Java client. That's all. So this is the client, I got it. So this is the second step, I did it. Now third step which I'm going to do is which is one by one. This is done. Okay, so third step which I'm going to do is adding the Selenium directory into the path. So for example, this is the directory. Okay, so this is the directory you have to add in the path. Okay, so this will do a little bit later. Some more things has to be done. Now what you have to do is you have to download WebDriver. Okay, so download WebDriver. Now the question is which web browser you want to test. Look at this image one more time. Here I downloaded the Selenium here in Java version. Now we need to download the WebDriver in my desktop. So I is there, Edge, Firefox and Chrome. So I have I'm using Chrome and Firefox too. Okay, browser is already installed in my Windows box laptop. So these two WebDriver I have to download, Firefox and Chrome. So let's check it out. Firefox WebDriver. So here I'm just checking. See here it says C++ NuGet, and I'm just checking where is WebDriver. So this is the IE driver server. We don't need grid. So here I am not able to locate easily. What I will do, Selenium, okay, WebDriver and Firefox. Okay, now here I will come to this place, and do you see driver? Uh, here it is. So this is the driver. This is the version of driver. Okay, so I think this is latest one only, I guess. Yeah, so I'll just download it. And where's the download link? Surprise, I'm not able to locate that download link though. It's here. So this is a Linux, Mac and Windows. So I have a Windows 64-bit. This I'll download. Okay, so this is I'm doing for what? This is I'm doing for Firefox, Mozilla Firefox. Now I need to download for Chrome also. So click here. This is the location for the Chrome, and here this is the latest version I'm downloading, and this is for Linux, Mac and Windows. So here I see Windows 64-bit, I don't see, so I think this will work. Okay, so in that case it will work. Chrome driver. So in that case I have downloaded here both. Go for gecko, cut, and here I'll just copy, and here this is the next package which I'm having, which is still downloading, I guess. Here this is also, I'll keep it. Now what I will do is I will create one folder which is called driver, dedicated folder, driver, and I'll just rename it WebDriver. Okay, so and inside that I'll just cut it. It's just some management. How you keep it is up to you. I just extracted the both, and this one also. Done. I'll delete this package. Now this is the Chrome driver, and this is the Gecko driver. So for myself, for my reference, I will write it Firefox. Okay, and this is, I will make it Chrome. Okay, so now I think two driver I downloaded. That's all I needed. So here you got a client, here you got a web driver. As per the image, you got the driver Firefox and all the things. The only code is remaining. Are you comfortable so far? Any questions? Any questions?
No, Rajesh.
Now what I will do, this driver is executable actually. Okay, so this driver is executable, this one you see here. So you need to set in the path environment variable. So let me add it, this path. So go to the environment variable. You can do through the command line also, but the UI will be more easier for you guys. So here, environment variable, this is the path, and it's not there, new. This is the one added, and second one which is here. Okay, so this is the added in the path environment variable. Okay, done. So let me WebDriver package and add executable path into path environment variable. So this is the step number 3rd. Now step number 4th. So this is the 3 things we have to do only in order to how to install and configure Selenium. Okay, so this is the stuff. So now the last part which is remaining, which is this code. Correct now, all of you? Correct? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So this is the last part. Now the question is how to write a code in Selenium. That is a question. So guys, here there's a method 1, okay, and method 2. Okay, method 1, method 2. What is a method 1? So you can okay. So method 1, you can generate a code using Selenium ID. Okay, that is, you can generate a code using Selenium IDs. And second thing, you can write a code using Java. That is because we are using Java, right? So these are the 2 ways you can get it code. So writing a code using Java, so for that of course you need to know Java. Don't get scared, by the way. We will generate a free code using Selenium ID. So this is the how to write a code in Selenium. Next thing is how to start web testing using Selenium. That is a 3rd question. So for that also there are 3 methods are there. Method number 1, web ID, Selenium ID, okay. Method number 2, Selenium WebDriver, which is here, and then method number 3, Selenium Grid. Okay, so all this thing I'll teach you, that's not a problem. Okay, so how to start web testing using Selenium, these are the 3 methods. How to write a code, these are the 2 methods, and this way did it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with ID. Okay, so this is the things how to start web testing using Selenium using ID. We can do that. So let's get started. So some of the things I did, installation I did, and next one is very important. What is ID? What is driver? What is a grid? We need to understand. Okay. Any questions anyone have before that? Any question? All of you?
Yeah, no, thanks.
Okay. So now the question is, what is ID? Selenium ID. So if you're thinking ID means Eclipse or something like that, Notepad, something like that, or some editor or something, then you're wrong. So actually Selenium ID is remember that Selenium is being used for the web testing. So Selenium ID is nothing but a one plugins in your browser. Sometimes we call it plugins, sometimes we call it extensions. Yes, you heard it right. Selenium ID is a plugins in your browser. Selenium ID is a extension in your browser. Selenium ID is add-ons in your browser. So Chrome, we call it, I think, plugin or something, extension. In Firefox, we call it add-ons or extension or something like that. So this is the plugins in your browser. Okay, so this is important. So for this, you need to have a browser first. Okay, any one browser you can take it up, and after this, you need to download Selenium ID extension or plugin, and then after that you can start using it. Now the question is, how can we install it? So let me show you directly rather than talking. So let's say this is my Chrome browser. Okay, so I want to install the IDs. So what I will do, I will go ahead and I'll go for where is the extension, setting, and I'll go for extension, and here I will search for Selenium IDs. That's a keyword. I will search for it. Okay, so here I search for it, and actually mine is installed only. You see here, this was installed only from, and that's the reason it came here. Okay, else you can go for searches and install it from the things. So I'm sure you will not get stuck in installing the IDs, right? All of you? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Now,
Yeah. Where want to see?
yes. And then Firefox, you go to the add-ons, here extension, search for that, and you will get it. Here, this is the ID. I have installed it already, by the way. So this is installed in my things. That's the reason remove has come. You see here. So I have installed extension. You see here, this is the one. Okay. So enable, disable, you can do that. In Chrome it was disabled. I just enabled. So this is the something which you have to do that. After that, what you have to do? Remember, this is the way to test. This ID is one of the way to start web testing using Selenium. So after that, what you have to do? So see here, ID is one of the way. So when you browse any website, okay, understand that when you browse any website, do something on your web pages, you may do fill some form, click something, or something like that. So basically ID is a recording mechanism. Yes, browser recording. If I put it in a very simple way, ID is Selenium ID is recording your browser session. Whatever you do, they will record it. And after the recording, what will happen? They'll generate one code. We call it a Selenium that I'll show you. Okay. And that recording, if you want to do that step, you want to play multiple times. So using ID only, you can play as many times you want for testing. Okay. So this is the record, and then generate a Selenium code, and then play as many times you want. Simple. So that is something which we'll do. So now the question is, okay, recording, you understand your browser session will be recording using ID, Selenium ID. But what is Selenium, which is contains? Okay, so Selenium is also is some sort of code, some sort of commands actually. So generally you have a three kind of actions, three kind of commands in the Selenium code. So what kind of commands do you have? So one will be having actions, another one will be having assessors, and the third one you will be having assertions. Three types of commands you will see in the Selenium. That means when you go to any website and start browsing some website, start testing. Website means application, web application. So when you go browse your web application and start testing that application, so ID record that session, and that generates some code. That code you can run n number of times. So the Selenium code will have a three primarily commands: actions, assessors, assertions. Now action is basically something which you do on the website, web pages. Action means click here or hover or drag, okay, or select. So these are the actions. Okay, on the web pages, whenever you do anything like a click, hover, drag, or select or something like that, this is called actions. Okay, so because of that actions, whatever happens, because of that action, whatever happens, that the output gets stored in some places in the memory, and that is called assessors. Okay, so because of that action, whatever happened, the results of the pages, whatever the results of that action get stored in the memories, and that we call it assessors. So assessors basically examining the state of application and store the results in variable, for example title, head, body, this, that, and all. Okay, so first thing, you did action. Whatever action you did, you store all the results in assessors, and on top of it you have assertions means verify that the state of application is same to what we are expecting. Assertions basically is a sort of, whatever the output you have, it assessors, whatever the output you have, we just need to check whether the output is as per my expectation or not, so that we validate using assertions. Okay, are you able to understand, all of you?
Yeah.
So this is something which we have in the Selenium code, which is generated by IDs. Okay, now this is something like a format we'll have. So you see here command, action, click and wait. So there's one website got open, and there'll be one link called about. You hit to that, click to that. Again, on about page, you have one heading, okay, S3. Again, you click on that and wait. After that, third actions, click and wait. Link, there's one link will be there, hacking with blah blah. So you see that command, these all are actions right now, and target. These are the action which is supported by Seleniums. That is a pretty huge one. I don't want to scare you, but yeah, if you want to do advanced programming, these are the click, we have click and hold, we have context click, we have double click, we have over, key down, key up, all these things, these are the actions. Pause. Now assertions also is a two type. Here you see Selenium, you have a three types of command: action, assessors, and assertions. But assertions also is of two types. Okay, so what is the assertions? So there's a two types: assert and verify. Okay, and three, in fact, wait for three types actually. Okay, three types. So what is the assert? These are three types of assertions. So what is assert? So when you want to validate some content on the assessors, okay, so either you use assert or verify or wait for. So assert is something like when assert fails, that means when verification fails, the test, overall test, is aborted. So when you use assert, if one fail, it is aborted. But when you use verify, when verify fails, the test will continue execution and logging the fail. And third one, the wait for command, wait for some conditions to become true and continue. So these are the three types of assertions again we have. Okay, so again few other which is available, which I'm just showing you for the reference purpose, not to do this. So now this is something which we will do now. So what we'll do, we will do the simple testing just for the getting a confidence of you. So there is a one website. This is a website called rajeshkumar.xyz. Okay. Now this is the website. So this is my test cases I'm doing. Website rajeshkumar.in. Okay. And here what I'm doing, using ID, I'm checking, verify if that, if I open this website, I have this content or not. So validating, verify this form. Okay, simple. And if it is there, then pass. If it is not there, fail. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what to do? So let's go for ID. You can use these steps in any browser, same steps. So I'm using right now Chrome or Firefox, anything is okay. So use the Firefox. Let's use the Firefox, and please see me doing it. So this is the Selenium ID. Click on it. Okay. Now here it says, what would you like to do? Which you would like to record a new test in a new project, or open an existing project? You want to create a new project or close Selenium ID? Of course, you want to create a project. So creating a project. This is something like August demo, creating it. Click OK. Now this is the page you get it here. See that? So get comfortable with it. This ID. This is a ID. So here, if you see, this is save, you understand. If you want to open up any folder project, here it is. You want to create some new test cases or something, here you have. Here you want to start the recording of your browser experience, here it is. You want to pause it, here it is. You want to create a breakpoint, here it is. You want to set some timer and all, here it is. You want to play the Selenium, here it is. You want to play all the steps, here it is. This is the command target value. So here command can be action and assertions. Okay, so here you have a list of command for your reference purpose. Target you can customize it, value you can customize it. Here this you can create a suits. You can add a test cases. This is one, you can name it properly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 100, 200. So like that you will create a 200 test cases. One I will show you, and this will become a test suite. Somewhere here you have logs, which you will see that. Are you understanding, all of you? All of you?
Yep.
So now let's do that. So guys, this is something I'm starting it. So this is my browser and this is my ID. So what to do? So I'm going to start this. First I'll name it, okay? This is check Rajesh rk.xyz. Okay, whether that is live or not. So this is the name, one of the test cases. Here you can create a suites also, but one of the test cases. You can add a more test cases also. Here, add new test. Only one test. Let's work on it. So here I will start. First thing, let's start the recording. So they will ask me, okay, you want to start the recording, but which browser session you want to record it? So I'll just go for, as we discussed, this is the URL. So this will become a base URL. Okay, please read this. Before you can start recording, you must specify a valid base URL for your project. Your test will start by navigating to this URL. Okay, so start recording. Now it is accessible. Now whatever you do in this browser, it will be recorded. Whatever. So see, it got open. I did not do anything, and then I go to and stop it. Okay. So now you see here, the moment you stop it, now just see here, nothing has happened because you did not do any actions. Okay. Now you see that here, command created nothing, target created nothing. Okay. Once again, I'll start this recording. So here, base, let me close that guy. Start recording. Now I'll do something. So something I means I'm doing some actions, hovering down. This hovering down. Okay. And what? I'm clicking on something here, selecting. This is the actions. Okay. And here I click on some URL, which is skills. Okay. So I did few things, few actions. Okay. I scroll down, over it, click on something, and all stuff like that. Now I'll go back to my IDs. And you see here, I'll stop it. And here you see this is the free code generated. Open the base URL, this Windows. I clicked somewhere here, then clicked here, then clicked here, and then clicked. So whatever I did on the browser, it is recorded. Are you able to understand that? Hello, all of you?
Yes.
Yeah. So now what I will do, I will close this guy. Okay. And now I will rerun this. Okay. So I'm running this. Okay. Look at this here. So go to here and run this. See here. Scroll down. Done. So my test is passed. So this is called action. All these commands. You see here. Open, set window size, click, 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 and done. So this is called action. I just showed you actions. All of you, any questions, any doubts? Hello?
No question from my end. Thank you.
Okay. Now what I will do some sort of assertions. So whatever it is being doing, whatever the value of each and every page is being captured in the assessors, which is in memory. So I'll do some validation based on the output. How can I do that? So let's do this. So here my theory is very simple. I should open this page. Let's say you're opening this page, okay, and the content should be there, this one. This, if it is there, the test pass. If it is not there, test should fail. Okay, very simple. So what I will do, I'll just delete all this thing, okay, and save it and start one more time recordings. I'll close that page. One more time I'm doing it. Okay, so let's start. Okay, now scroll. Now I want to assert this one, this text. So I'll select this and right click, and you see that Selenium ID is here at the bottom. So here you can create a assert, store, verify, wait for. Remember the assertions, there's a 3 types I have, but here you have a 4 type. So maybe this latest version you got added here. So assert, what is this? Assert what? So assert title or text. So I want to assert text. Okay, done. I'll go back to my ID, stop the recording. So see here, open, set window size, click on something at the page, and this is our assert value. So basically I selected a little bit, but here it got selected too much. Okay, so this whole section got selected, I guess. Okay, because of maybe that this HTML div, no, it got selected. So now what I will do, I will check whether this test is passing or not. This is assert age. Okay, assessors is stored in the memory. So can we do this? Play this. Only one test cases we have. If you have multiple, run all test cases, but only one right now. Add it. And you see here what is the results. So I think you are not able to see the results. If you go down bottom section, you see here, and here you see assert got successfully okay. But you know what, I'll do the little bit of tricks now. I'll modify this assert value. Instead of 15 years, let's say it's coming 14 years. This is wrong data, that is not there in the site. It's a 15 years, but here I am having 14 years. Okay, now I will run this and see what happens. See, all the test cases run, but here only the thing assertion got failed. You see, here it says, hey, you have 14 years, but actually assessors we have a 15 years. This is the content. So this test cases is failed now. So this is how the recordings will happen. Each test cases you will have. Are you understanding, all of you? Hello. Yeah. So you know what? Like this is just for generating ideas in your mind. But like this, you will have a very complicated things running. For example, now I'll do the one more test cases for you. So here, executing to test. This time I'll check the google.com. Okay, add it. And now I'll just clear the log. And this is the another test. Okay, start this. Oh, sorry, base URL, I have to change it. So this is the one test. So I'll delete these test cases. Stop recording. So this I am deleting this. Why? Because base URL I want to change it. So one test suite you have to have a base URL only one. So delete this. Okay, so google.com. So now I start this. Why is coming? Okay, it's not changed here. Let me change the base URL. Google.com. Here, done. So here, stop this. Okay, so now clean this. Now starting once again. This time I'll do the google.com. Okay, so here start the recording and I'm searching DevOps school. So here I'm typing it. Okay, enter, and here the first thing which I'm doing is click on the DevOps school. That's all. Now I will check whether this DevOps school, this particular text is there or not. Trending master courses, and right click, inspect, assert, title, value, many things are there. Text only, or title or value, something like that. Text, and go to ID, stop it. So this is the one text now. Google.com. Type here. Typing is done here. You see, type. This is how you learn. Action, command, send keys, query. Okay, and key number, whatever that you type it, and stuff like that. Click, click, assert text. This one. So let's run it. Google.com DevOps school. See, results will come in few seconds. Wait for a second. Okay, wait a second. Enter. See here. Type, send keys, enter. So this is a variable. They convert into variable. Okay, let me run one more time. Google.com. Type. Okay. So what is happening? Google is blocking that from Selenium. Okay. So that's the reason. Okay. So that's it's a security actually is blocked by. Yeah. So you have to do manually actually. So it's blocked by editor. That is what. So overall, are you getting it? How to use the Selenium IDs? All of you? Let me show you one more. Yeah. Okay. So now this is IDs. So this is the way to start doing the web testing using ID. Now the question is, what is a WebDriver? So let's get into the WebDriver, second topic. So WebDriver, see what happens through the IDs. It's like a human dependent. You have to, open your browser. You have to run your Selenium and all stuff like that. You have to do manually. So it's not a good idea. But what you want to run against the multiple browser, but through the code in the background. Okay, so because let's say during the writing the test cases, using the ID is good idea, but I cannot keep in front of the computer and keep running here and there and all stuff. It should be then in the background as part of CI sometime in the night process and also. Okay, and I want to use multiple web browser at a time. One code you have and you want to run into multiple browsers. So how do we automate all this stuff? Manual activities, and that activities you can automate through the WebDriver. So WebDriver, what happens? You have to write a code for it. For example, I will explain you in a simple way. which, so you have to write a code. I'll teach you how to write a code. That's not a difficult thing. So you have to write a code. This code you can write in any language, and this code you need to send to Selenium client. Selenium client, I hope you remember, this is a setup which we did. This is the client. Here it is. So this is the client, you have to send it to them, and this client will send to the driver. Driver means this driver, the one I set it up here, this Chrome and Firefox driver. And this driver, WebDriver, will call the browser and run on behalf of us. Okay, so like this. So there's a different driver for it. So here Firefox driver and Chrome driver and all. So this will be done. So now we need this code actually to run it. So how do we generate this code? So I'll teach you one techniques here, that is in ID only. So see here, I'll just delete this test cases, okay, and change the ID to this. Again I'm doing, and add a new test cases. One, check RK, and start the recording. Do whatever you want, and I want to validate this one. Right click, text, verify, assert text or title, whatever you want, and that's all. Come back to the ID, stop the recording. So here assert text is this one. Okay, now let me validate if it's passing or not. Let me close. Let me validate. It passes. Done. Now this is one test. This is one test. Okay, this is a one test. But how do I convert into the code? So right click here. Okay, right click here, and do you see all of you export option? All of export option. Hello.
Yes.
So you have to click on export. Now which code, the Selenium, this is the Selenium, okay, this Selenium code you want to migrate into the what version of code. So if you are writing C# using NUnit, XUnit, Java, JUnit, JavaScript, Python, Ruby, so these are the options you have available. So of course right now I want Java code, so this Selenium I want to convert into Java code. Let me do that, and here this is the file which you have. I want to store here. I want to store here code. This I'll create one directory, code, and here this is the code, and here the code is generated for you. See here, you did not even write the code, that code automatically came. So like that, every cell niche, the test case on ID can be generated code. You can write it separately also, that's not a problem, but this is the way to get it. See here, this is your code. So if you see that these all are importing the Selenium web stuff, you see. So this jar file is in the client location here. This is the jar file, all the packages which you have here. So this, all this thing, this jar file should be in the class path. So this is the code. Now if you see that here, look at this code, it's not very difficult to understand. See here, check RK test, this is the class name, and here if you see that, look at this, first a driver. Okay, so here Firefox driver, this I was using Firefox, right? So that's the reason they added a Firefox driver. So driver is equal to new Firefox driver. Okay, and using the Firefox driver.get, see here, this is a variable, right? Driver.get what? Get means open this website. After that, resize the windows Okay. After that, find that element. Look at this. Which element? CSS selector, whatever it is, and click on it. After that, assert that what? So whatever the element you found out, assert that this particular text. Are you understanding all of it? So something like that you can write it directly also, but you can do this way. It's for learning purpose right now. Don't get scared like you have to write a lot of code and all. Just get comfortable with the system. Okay, comfortable with the system, that is the most important. So this is the one code. Now how do we do that? How do we run it? So like that, I have so many codes already. So let me show you here. So I have already so many code here, and that one of the code I'll copy it, which is Selenium WebDriver. This is the client source code. So one of the source code which I'm going to show you is this one, example.java. Okay, and commands. Just a second, give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so I'm copying some source code just for the reference for the faster demo. This is the one. So here I'll show you the example.java. So this is the code, same code, which something similar code. Here the only thing is this is hard coded. So I told you, right, driver is hard coded, should be in the class path. So here C tools Selenium, I'm just checking the path, and WebDriver together, and Firefox. I'll do one thing. Okay, let it be this one, Firefox, and gecko driver.exe. So this is the Firefox driver I'm hard coding in the code itself. Now after that, you see driver new object created. Now these are the variables actually. So in this last code, everything was hard coded, but in this code it's a variable. So here what we are having, base URL is devopstrainer.in. Let me show you this website. Okay, that's the website. Now this is the website. Now here in this website, I'm expecting the title, which is this one. Title means what? Open this website, go to the page source, and you see here title. So here coding is, this is the variable expected title should be this one, and actual title is variable is declared but you have not used it. Now here driver.get base URL, same thing we are doing here. Driver get hard coding here, same thing. So driver.get base URL, actual title is equal to driver.get title. So this will fetch the title. This is assessors. Okay, so this will driver.get title. So get a title means it will go and fetch that real title. Now what you will do here, see here, look at the logic. If actual title is equal to expected title, which is expected title was here. So if actual title is equal to expected title, print test passed, else failed, and close the driver. Are you understanding this simple code, all of you? All of you? All of you? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. So now I'm going to run this code. How do we run it? So I set the path. Everything is okay. These are the code you needed to run this code. These are the things. So for that, I'm going to have a command. This command I'll share with you. So command is to run one program, you are using this one. To run multiple program, you can use Maven also. No problem. So here, this path which you have, this path, the class path, whatever you have, you should set all these libraries. Okay. So I'm going to set this path, Java libraries, Selenium client. Okay. And this is the path. I'll just copy it properly. Okay. And okay. And now I'm trying to compile this code, Java 1 example.1 Java. So I'll come here, code, enter. Here. Now, if I see the code, there's a lots of failure. So the failure is, if you read it, it says, hey, some of the this one or this one or this one does not exist. That means class reference which I am doing here is not exist. So what do we do in this case? So we should do something about this. So what is happening is this jar file which I loaded is from here, but there are some jar file which is here also. This also need to be loaded. So what do we do? So I can play multiple tricks, but here I'm trying to embed the multiple path. So just a second, Java Javec set class path multiple directory. Okay, so I can copy all the libraries into one file also, but I want to use that something like this. See here, this is one path and semicolon after another path. So I think this will be more better way. Okay, so let me modify this code and add this is this one. I'm just checking 1 colon and same directory and one more, and here it should be library. Library means here lib. Okay, so lib and done. Are you understanding? All the jar file has to be loaded in the class path for the Selenium. So now let's check it out. Enter. So now I loaded all the jar files, and there's some warning for the compilations. This okay, this warning is okay. There's some of the code got, so this is Java 8 actually. So code got integrators, but I got a class file, I think. Can we go and check? See here the class file. So this is the class file which you have. Now you need to run this class file to test this program. So for that, what I'm going to do is, this is the code. Java is a command line to test the code, and class name is example1. Are you understanding? So this is the running the Java now. It will open the DevOps trainer.in using Firefox, remember. Open at this, enter. So just wait for it. it should open up prompt for the Firefox browser. It's taking time. See, there's some problem. The problem is find the load. Just a second, hold on. Could not find the load class file. So let me check. Everything is correct. Let me run one more time. Says could not find a load main class example1. So example1 should be there, right? Okay, example1 dot. So my bad. It should be dot class file. Okay, class like this. Strange. Example1. One more. It's a compilation issues. It's a runtime issues. So not a code issue. So let me see that. Huh. Okay. So example1 dot class. Spelling mistake. Check that. Should not be. Strange. Okay, no problem. This file is available. I see that. Let me run the another one to see that if everything is okay. So Selenium tools, Selenium source code here, and I'm running the same code. Okay, so maybe some issues with this command line. Example1, example. Let me pause this recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so basically the fix was very simple. Now let it open a browser first and then we'll see that. So I'm expecting that the Firefox browser will open up and do the stuff. Okay, so here you see okay, so let me close this, clear the screen. Let me run one more time. No, okay. So you see the browser is opening. DevOps trainer is going over there, and title which is I'm expecting is already placed. So here if you see that output, can you read this one, all of you? Test is passed. Okay, now I'll do little bit opposite way. So here this is the expected title, but actually I'll remove this. This is the expected title, and the real title is, you know, that whatever it is. Now again I will compile this code. I'm compiling this code. Okay, and again I will run this code. Oh, sorry. Running this code should be done using this command. Okay, look at this. This time test should fail. Opening up the browser, devostrainer.in, and close the browser. And now you see here, can you see this? Test failed. Understood, all of you? How do we use the WebDriver?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So like this, you will write a hell lot of programs. You know, I showed you only one program, but in the real time, you will have thousands of programs. So how do you run it? Using Maven. Okay. So using Maven, you will run it. So these steps and all, I'll send it to you. This code and all, I'll send it to you later. So now this is second type of it. Let me go back to this. And by the way, what was the error for the recording purpose? I must share that. So the error was this path was not being consumed here. So the moment I added this one, so the path got appended to the class path, and then they started running example.1. Others it was getting appended earlier. So this is the this is needed actually. This is just a way to do that. To come out of this problem, Maven is the best one. Okay. Now third thing, before that, let me see that where we are. So I showed you this ID also, how to write a test case and how to run it. I showed you the WebDriver also and how to do that. Now what is a Selenium Grid? This is the last topic in Selenium. So what is a Selenium Grid? So let's understand the Selenium Grid little bit, and then I'll teach you. I'll show you the demo for this. So Selenium Grid, we also call it Selenium Server also. Either you call it server or grid is okay. Both are okay. Both are same. But officially we call it a grid. Many people call it server also. So what is a grid? So understand this. What happens? Actually, you have thousands of test cases. For example, I showed you only one program, right? But in reality, you will have thousands of test cases. So now think simple, okay? Let's say I'll put it in a very simple way to understand this. Here, if you have one test cases, this is one test cases, and then you send to the WebDriver, and then WebDriver, which is Firefox, and it taken 1 minute, let's say 1 minute. Okay. So if I have thousands of test cases, so how many minutes it will take? Let's consuming each test cases is taking 1 minute. So how many minutes will take? All of you? Hello.
It is less than a minute.
Let's focus on the session, guys. So how many minutes? Okay, I'll repeat one more time. There is one test cases just like that I wrote, right? This is one test cases, and I sent to the WebDriver. WebDriver sent to the browser Firefox, and it consumed 1 minute. Task test passed or failed, I don't care, but it took 1 minute. So if I run it in the one box, let's say this is only one box I have, and I'm running 1,000 test cases, and each one of it is taking 1 minute. So how much time it will take overall?
Yeah. Is it on just a single box?
1,000, right?
Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, it will take a minute.
Correct. Simple logic. That's the problem. Do you have 1,000 minutes to wait for the testing? In reality, you know what? Not only 1,000 minutes, you'll have a 15,000 test cases, 20,000. I have worked for one project. You won't believe I was having 45,000 test cases. We were crazy about it actually. So just imagine how much time it will take to run the test cases. You don't have a time for all that. 1,000 minutes, I don't have it. So what we'll do? So we will do the test parallel. So what we'll do? So from this one test, this is the code, right? This code, and we will not send to the driver directly. Okay, think simple. Okay, we will not send to the driver directly. We will not send. So all these 1,000 test cases will send to the grid. Grid is like a server, Selenium Grid. Okay, Selenium Grid, and grid is basically a server, and here you'll have a multiple machines attached to it. So there's one machine, two machine, three machine, 100 machines attached to it. So we will send all 1,000 code to the grid, and let the grid decide which machine they want to run it. Okay, so each machines will have a WebDriver and browser. WebDriver, browser, WebDriver and browser. So now let's say theoretically, let's say 40 test cases I'm having. If I use without a grid, then it will take 40 minutes. Okay, in this image situation. But if I use with this grid solution, then it will take 10 minutes. Correct now, all of you? 4 machines we have, 1, 2, 3, 4. Agree with me? Correct now? Yeah. So this is something grid. This is the grid. This is the grid. So grid basically accepting all the code, thousands of code actually, and distribute that to the parallel nodes to work on it. And each node you have a driver and browser. Driver, WebDriver and browser, like that. So this is the grid. This is what I'm talking about in simple way I put it. So yes, what is Selenium Grid? Selenium Grid can be used to run Selenium test parallel and on multiple machines. This helps with reducing the overall time of test executions. Running test against browser on a different operating system. So the advantage of this one also, like here you can have a WebDriver which is Firefox. Here you can have a Chrome also. Here this can be Linux also. This can be Windows also. Different platform you can add to the grid. Advantage of it. Okay. So here this is the code is sent to the remote driver and Selenium Hub, and then this is okay. So this is something which we have to understand. So let me show you all this demo directly. Okay, so first thing you need to download the grid. So did we have a grid? Actually I did not download the grid. Now I'll go and download the grid. Okay, so Selenium website. Here you see the grid is here. This is the stable version, latest. In my system, I have an old version also, but I'm showing you the latest version, so you'll not get lost. Okay. This is the one jar file which we have in Grid. So for that, Grid is not having multiple programming language. It only support Java. So Java is installed in my box already. All these documentations you have here, so you should check this out. This is the Grid. I'm going to copy. You know, everything I like to be organized way. So Grid. After the demo, I'll delete all this directly. Yeah. So this is the Grid. Simple. Okay. Now the next question is how do we start the Grid? Okay. So for that we need some command line, right? So I'll just copy the command line from my previous notes. It'll be easy for me. So Grid. Okay, I'll share with you all this code, no problem. And in internet also you can find hundreds of things. So understanding is important, more important. Okay, so now how do we start the Grid? So there is a command for it, and that command we will run right now. See here. So when you start the Grid, this is the Java jar. This is the jar file for the Grid, and the role should be hub. Okay, so that means this Grid should be hub. Then you will say, Rajesh, how can I set up this node here, this node here, this node here? So you know what? The same executable you can use it, but you will run in the mode called node. Okay. So here role is hub, and here role is node. Remember. Okay. So that's the difference. So this machine will be hub. This machine will be node. So we'll have to keep it two machine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this situation. So everywhere same jar files you can use it, but in a different mode. So let me run this file. I have to update the versions of it. It's the same file to avoid the complexity. Same locations. Okay. So this is the so so this is the same location. So let's run this here, command line, and enter. So this I'm creating a hub. Okay, theoretically, if you want to know, this is the machines which I'm creating hub. You see here, there is some problem here. The problem is the list of command which I did not provide properly. So I think I just copy paste. Let me check. Just a second. Let me check from the backend. So I copied pasted. Let me see where I made a mistake. So this is a standalone. Okay. So what has happened, I'll tell you. So this is the one. So command got changed. Nothing has happened. Command got changed. Earlier, this was the server standalone. Command got changed. So here we have a grid. So no problem. I will check that the new command. So Selenium the documentation I'm looking for it. Grid 4, and here command line standalone. Okay, so this command, extra command, have to do that. So jar file also got changed, so no problem. So here, if it's a hub, so it's a hub, this is the one. Okay, and if it is a node, then node. Okay, so all the commands got changed, no problem. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a hub, so this command will work for me. Okay, new version. Now this is the file, it's the latest one, and here, so this is the right command. I'm creating hub. Okay, so let's check it out. I think last one was also something similar. It didn't work out. Well, it's okay. So clear the screen, hub, enter. Now it took this right command. So earlier the last command which I was showing you, which was the last year release. So for that it will work, but you have to use the older jar. Now you see here, please read this, all this thing. So here the started Selenium hub at this address. Okay, so you can try to browse it here. So grid has no registered node, that's true, but this is how. In fact, UI has been improved a lot actually, new version. I tried this first time in last few months. Okay, so it's good, yeah. So this is the things. Now what to do? Next thing should be node. Which node? So this node we have to register. So and then node I need the driver and browser. So as of now I don't have any other machine, so I'm using the same machine as a node also. And you know what beauty about it? Same executable file also used for the node also. Only the command will differ. So if you look at the documentation for this is the command for node. Okay. Now there's one more thing which I want to do that. So node, just a second, hold on. So here there is a command which is node, and this is the command. Okay, so jar file will be same. Okay, jar file will be same, and you can create as a node. Now you know what, node should know which is your hub. For example, this node should know this is my hub or this is my hub. So here you should provide something like this. Okay, this is the output. And now node should have some configurations. So configurations, which is I created here. This is the configurations. So here it should be Firefox, Windows platform, port number, and also flat. So this one I will copy it from here. I'm assuming this will work. Okay. Else we have to find up-to-date command here also. So here also. Okay. So let me see the first it's working or not. So for this here, go to the grid again, open up command. So let's wait for that. So this will register one node. Okay, there's a problem I think, or not. Let me check this. Okay, the problem is, okay, so this parameter is not at all defined. That means it's not needed. So I think let's go straight forward with this command only. Okay, so one or more nodes can be started in this setup. The server will detect the available driver that can be done. So let's do this. Changes has happened, so I just don't need this here. Done. So I'll just run this, clear the screen, and so this is the node. one of the node be registered. Okay. So here if I see node has been added. Okay. So if you're running the same machine, I think it has detected, but if you're running the different machine, I think we have to provide something else. So that will come back later. So now you see here, this machine has come, and you see here, all this thing has come. So the thing is how to set up a grid and how to set up a node is clear. All of you understood? Any questions?
No question from my end.
Yeah. Now you need to understand one thing, and that is port number. Okay. So the port number, just look at this hub. Okay. And node port number, this one. Okay. So everything is okay right now for time being. Now next thing is what to do. So look at this. I need to send the code to hub, and hub will decide where to run and then parallelize all the results. So how do I do that? How do I send the code? So in that case, look at the code. Actually, there's one code which I'm having right now. Here, look at this code. This code is remains same actually. There's no much difference. Here you have a DevOps code. Title is expected this, and also same code. Same different website, same code. The only change has happened is this driver path in the node and hub path. So what is a hub IP address? So hub IP address is this one, 192.168.56.1. So 56.1, and port number, let it be same. Here this one, 4444. This is the hub address. Okay. So here this is a done. So that's the first thing. Second thing which you have to do is change this address. So I'll just copy this things from the last example and example here, done. That's all. So now what you are doing, as per the discussion, you are sending the code to hub, and hub address is here. This is the address, and in the agent you have the driver at this location. Okay, that's all. So after that, what you need to do is go to the grid command line, and I need that command actually again. So command is, this is the command, this is the command, and this is the command. Okay, so go back, grid command, this is the command. I'll just copy this, and file name is example2.java. So example2.java and example2. That's all. Let me compile the code. Enter. And you see here, compilation has some warning, but it got compiled. No problem. So here you got this. Now let's run this class file and enter. So now it should open the browser, because my agent is the same machine, and DevOps school or something like that. It should open up DevOps school. Okay, you can see the logs also here and here, one by one. See here, and you see here. Just wait for it, and you can come to see the grid also. Refresh. this machine, session 0 right now, concurrency. So there's no activity has happened so far. Just wait for it. It's taking a little time. So Firefox, everything is correct, no problem. So guys, this is Selenium. All of you understood that? Any questions, any doubts? All of you?
No, Rajesh. No doubts.
So this is something which we did. Let me go to the flow. I showed you how to do use ID. I showed you how to do WebDriver and then Grid. Now I showed you how to write a code, generate a code using ID and use it. Also, you can write your own code using Java and then all the setup. So basically, now you may be having a question. So why it's not coming? It's taking a little time. See, there's a call has happened. You see here, session requested received. See here, browser name Firefox. You see, see session 1. Okay, I missed this. See the browser. Now it's slow. Why is slow? That's strange thing. You should open DevOps school and all and do all this. Whatever the code, same code I'm using, but the site has been changed. That's okay. It's taking time. Okay, let it run in the background. So the guys, this is something which you have to do. Now question is, what is your roles in this? So I believe you may not be asked for writing the code for Selenium and all stuff like that, test cases. But I believe you may be using your skill set to troubleshoot actually all this thing. So your setup, because you have to integrate as part of the CI/CD, right? Automations. You have to automated testing. You have to integrate it. So if you understand what is grid, what is driver, how to start the testing, how to see the results and all the stuff like that, it will be easy for you to become a very good DevOps engineer. In fact, if you want to become a automation test engineer also, so this session will be helpful for you. Make sense? All of you?
Yes, it makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. So it's
So
slow,
if
but
I may ask now, okay, sorry, if I may ask now, so under what condition would I prefer to use Selenium over maybe Jacoco or JUnit? Or is it depend on whatever my organization has selected to be using?
sorry, your voice is breaking for me actually. Okay, so test has been completed. I saw that. Test is failed. Of course, test is failed because title is not this one. If you go and devopsschool.com, title is something which got changed actually. So title is source code. The title is devopsschool.com still. The code has expected title. Okay, you should pass that test. devopsschool.com, devopsschool.com. I believe we should pass the test cases. So somewhere I'm changing the title also through the code. Okay, so here if you see that test failed, okay, and the logic is at devospschool.com, get title, expected title, and so refresh. There's one session got created for this, and this is the test cases, duration 3 minutes. Note this one, browser Firefox. So test got failed, but I was expecting success. The reason could be this website is changing the title during some phases. So I'll just check later point of time. Yeah, but that's every setups work perfectly fine. Yeah, what was your question actually? What is your
I
question?
said if I only ask under what condition would I said under what condition would I select Selenium over JUnit or Jacoco?
Nuru, your voice is badly.
Okay. Okay, let me type it.
Is it only for me or for everyone? Can you hear him clearly?
No, Rajesh, you're also getting disturbance.
Okay. Just type it the question in the chat window. It will be easy for us. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Anyone have? Okay. Nuru, are you typing a question? Okay. So he's having question. Under what condition will I select Selenium over Jacoco or JUnit? Okay. Very good question actually. So, okay. So this question should be put it in this way. See here, these all tools are needed. There is no as such comparison between these two. For example, web-based testing, web-based functional testing. Okay, this is done by Selenium. The one which I functionality you can test this. Okay, here code-based unit testing, code-based unit testing, can be done by JUnit. Both are different tools for different problems. And here for code coverage, that is a different problem altogether using Jacoco. So that means in simple way, you need all these tools more than that. Only these, not 3 tools. In a testing, we have a 10 tools, more than 10 problems we have. So you have to use different tools. So here all these tools are needed for different problems. Got it? So next tools which I'm going to talk about is a JMeter. So this tool will be for performance testing. Different testing, performance testing. Different testing, different tool. Okay, different tool. So this is the next topic which I'm going to talk. Okay, so anyone have any other questions? Okay, so now we'll go for the break for 15 minutes, 1-5. And once we come back from the break, we'll discuss about the JMeter and I'll show the demos. Okay guys, see you. Bye everyone.